Hiya folks, welcome to the warm-up, the short, sharp data pack to get you ready for Leeds' next game. Tonight, a massive game away at Oxford United and a massive day all round with Sheffield United and Burnley both in action as well. A huge weekend of Championship football action ahead of us that could very well decide the top two positions this weekend, as well as who will find their way into the playoffs. There's a lot on the line this weekend. Specifically, Leeds have a mixed enough record over Easter. I think it's safe to say we all remember the collapse at the Wigan game in Bielsa's first season in charge at Leeds United, and this time last season we were all just settling into the knowledge and understanding that Leeds would likely have to try and get out of the playoffs to get into the Premier League, which ultimately, as we know, didn't happen. A win in both of the next two games against Oxford and Stoke would likely see Leeds over the line and confirm an automatic spot at the least heading into the final two games of the season. But you've got to say this: a draw away at Oxford, given their record recently, wouldn't be the worst result in the world. It would still keep a gap for Leeds there, but you would then go into Stoke game on Monday night at home wanting a win. But you'd like to think that Leeds can get this done in the next two games, take the pressure off, and hopefully have a little bit of a party atmosphere come the Stoke City game at Ellen Road on Monday night. Oxford and Stoke won't be straightforward games. They will be tough, they will be battles, they will be a lot more physical, and Leeds will need to be ready for that. And they're probably the two areas that Leeds have struggled a little bit when they have struggled this season, which hasn't been that often, but when they have, it's been the more physical games, the bigger battles, and the ones where the duels and winning the battle before you play the game of football is really important, and Leeds have kind of just been a little bit wobbly on those ones. So these are two key areas coming into this game. We're going to cover the team news for both sides, the form guide home and away, as well as the key form and the focus areas to keep an eye on coming into this game tonight. As I say, it's a huge weekend. Sheffield United and Burnley both in action. You'd expect both of those sides to win, but Sheffield United coming off the back of 3 defeats in a row, and Chris Wilder getting sanctioned by the league now after his reaction post-match of the Plymouth game, as well as comments now to a fan in the ground as well. He seemed to have lost the head completely. That will all play into today's games, and we'll have to see, but you would imagine on paper that both those sides would get a win. If Leeds can get a win today, they just move one step closer with 3 games to go and only 9 points left on offer. We'll start off though with the team news, and we'll start with Oxford, as they are the home side coming into this game, and they're almost safe in the Championship, which will be a big boost for them, having been promoted from League One last season. Gary Rowett's come in and he's done a really good job since he's gone there. Probably owes Leeds one after recent results against Leeds, as well as his initial game against Leeds United, Marcelo Bielsa's first season when he was at Stoke himself. Centre-back Kieran Brown will be out of this game, and Elliot Moore and Max Voltman are also two big losses for Oxford coming into tonight's game. From a Leeds United perspective, Dan James will be a late check by Daniel Fracke, although he's likely to just find himself onto the bench at the best case scenario, and Daniel Fracke likely to hold him back until Monday night against Stoke. Joe Rothwell will be back in action for the Bristol City game next weekend. And outside of that, Pascal Struijk, as we know, out injured for the remainder of this season. After that, it's as it was. Pat Bamford getting closer and closer to being fully fit to get out and play more than a couple of minutes off the bench. Max Verber also in contention coming into this game. It'll be interesting to see if Daniel Fracke decides to bring Max Verber in at left centre-back and push Ethan Ampadu into midfield for this game, or stick with the Ilya Gruevel-Tamake double pivot, which I've been pretty happy with in the last 2 games specifically. But we'll have to see what he does. I'd never second guess Daniel Fracke at this stage. There's always a point to think that the team line was probably a little bit predictable, but the options available to him at the moment, and with him in this very key period, you just never know what he will do. Moving on to the form guide, let's talk about the all-up form guide, and we'll start with Oxford again because they're the home side, 17th in the league so far this season, 3 wins and 2 losses in their last 5 games. They've beaten Sheffield United, Watford and Sheffield Wednesday in that run, scoring 43 goals in 42 games so far this season and conceding 60 in those 42 games. On Leeds United's perspective, still top of the table, first in the league currently, and hoping that the blip is behind us. In the last 5 league games, Leeds have 3 draws, then followed up by 2 back-to-back wins for Leeds, which will give them a huge amount of confidence coming into the run-in. Leeds have scored a whopping 82 goals in 32 games. They'll unlikely get to the 100 goals given there's only 4 games left, but you never know. And have only conceded 29 goals all season, the second best defensive record in the division this year. From a key form perspective, so looking at Oxford United's home form, and it's reasonably good home form, which is probably the reason they're doing as well as they are comparative to what they would have expected this season, sitting 12th in the home form table so far this year, and in the last 5 home games, 3 defeats and 2 wins in that spell. From a Leeds perspective, the away record still third place in the away table this year, winning 9 of our 21 away games this season, only losing 3 in the rest being draws. Leeds have scored 31 goals on the road and conceded only 17 in those 21 away games. So in a decent form away from home coming into this. Leeds have been followed the Daniel Farke mantra of point away, 3 points at home, gets you up. It might be a little bit more than that this year just with the points total on offer, but we'll have to wait and see. The focus areas for this game are going to be really interesting. From a Leeds perspective, keeping a clean sheet would add more confidence to the side coming into the last 3 games of the season, and they've just been sloppy at times and conceded silly goals in the last couple of weeks. Not that that's really mattered, but it's made things a little bit more edgy than they probably needed to be. Leeds need to avoid lapses in concentration. We saw it against Preston. Leeds switched off as soon as they scored and conceded pretty much immediately after they put the ball in the back of the net. That needs to be avoided. They need to concentrate and they need to stay focused. As always, for me, an early goal will go an awful long way. We know what happens when Leeds take the lead. They don't lose, and at the moment, not losing is a really good starting point before we can try and push on and maybe think about getting all 3 points. But it won't be straightforward, as I said, and Leeds will have to win the battle to earn the right to play football in this game. It will be a far more physical game. And the way Oxford have scored their goals this season, what we need to look at from Oxford's perspective is Leeds need to avoid set plays against them. The bulk of Oxford's goals this season have come via set plays, dead ball situations, from long throws, free kicks, corner kicks, and Leeds will just need to keep them to an absolute minimum today to just remove the opportunity that Oxford might get to get a goal or 2 in this game. Keep it tight, keep the game in their half of the pitch, minimise set plays and dead balls, and then hopefully with an early goal avoid any time wasting from them. They still need some points. It's not a guarantee they're 100% safe. Only 6 points between them and the relegation zone, so they are still hunting for points this season. And Gary Rowett would love to get a Leeds United scalp and what will be their biggest home game of the season. So there will be a good atmosphere down there. It will be aggressive, it will be tight, and it will be a physical game. And Leeds will need to overcome all of those stuff to try and put 3 points on the board and move 1 step closer to automatic promotion with, as I say, 3 games to go and 9 points on offer, and they can keep that 5-point gap, or hopefully by the end of the weekend a little bit bigger and confirm those automatic spaces. I bet the Bristol City game myself, got sorted, we'll be over there. Big thanks to John Foxley for helping me out there as well, so we'll be at that game, can't wait, and hopefully it's a massive party when we get there. Really looking forward to that. Be over on Big Up today, half an hour before kick-off if you want to join me for a watch-along. Details down below in the description. We'd love to see you there for a chat, a bit of a commentary and a little bit of fun as well. It's a good spot. We've had a bit of a laugh this season doing it. Never thought I would do a watch-along, but it's going well over there. So if you want to join us, you can catch that over on bigup.com. And then outside of that, back tomorrow with a review and a preview with stats ahead of the game on Monday night. We'd love to see you there as well. Outside of that, I'll talk to you soon. Enjoy the rest of your day, and fingers crossed for 3 points tonight. All the best.